Not that we need him there right now, but he just happens to be a field marshal and happens to be able to command all those troops, so... I really wish we could get the puppet war goal. It's too bad that democratic nations don't get that.
The price of ethics.
Well, we can get it against certain countries. Like, we can puppet Japan, we can puppet Venezuela, but we can't just decide to puppet whoever we want.
Wow.
We can only puppet nations that are currently fascist, and therefore we must puppet them to set up a democratic government. I also still can't figure out why my fleet will not leave Eastern Micronesia.
They like it.
I guess.
I mean, who wouldn't? It's like, war, 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 oh my god, a beach. I'm just gonna stay here.
And I think I have 2 more carriers I can add here. I should have a couple of the Nimitz class. Or no, we bypassed the Nimitz and went on to the Midway class. So I'm going to go ahead and send this carrier group.
Island hopping and tech hopping.
Actually, let's just dock them here and use them as mobile air bases. I'm pretty sure we can do that. We have space for a tank manufacturer. Chrysler gives us reliability and attack. Marmon Harrington gives us speed and reliability. And Army Ordnance Department gives us armor and attack. I'm thinking Chrysler might be the best option here, actually. More firepower and better reliability.
Yeah.
And we're not really using our mountain infantry. I feel like that's going to be a waste of time. We are using our field hospitals and support companies, though. Planes in reserve. We have so many of those wildcats. I think I already maxed out the fighter wing here. Yeah.
We're gonna have to start building hangars for your extra planes, TJ.
We have hangars for them. It's just bothering me that we're not using them for anything.
I know, that's what I mean.
Let's see. Avengers.
Modern war problems.
Yeah.
It's interesting they put that mechanic in the game, too.
Yeah.
There's not
Do you know if that was a problem in
there's
World War
not
II,
a
like
lot.
mothballing stuff like we do today?
You know what? Not to the extent that we have it today. That we were. I won't call it scarcity because that seems a little dramatic, especially from the United States standpoint. But I mean, planes, guns, tanks, bandages. They were at a premium, man.
Yeah.
You know Lend-Lease, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the British were desperate for anything they could buy up. The Russians were too, right?
Yes.
They participated heavily in Lend-Lease. This is not my area. Historically, I know the basics.
So we're gonna put our carrier group out to sea. We're gonna give them a new commander. Or no, wait. We have to put them in port, give them a commander, then send them out to sea. Arleigh Burke.
Cornell, review copy, man.
So now we should have, like, ultra air dominance in this area. Yeah. Air superiority, naval strike, port strike, air superiority, naval strike, port strike. USS Enterprise right there. Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Captain Kirk!
Captain
It's
Jean-Luc Picard.
the difference between me and Chloe. She immediately thought Captain Kirk. I thought Picard. Let us know in chat which one of us you think is right.
Oh, let's start that.
Let's start that up.
Let's start that.
See, I actually grew up on Picard, not Kirk.
Yeah.
I just happen to think Kirk is actually more iconic than Picard.
He is more iconic.
I think that's probably an objective, not a subjective statement.
No, I would agree that he's like people who don't know anything would think of Captain Kirk.
It's the Shatmeister, man.
Con! But here's William Shatner in real life is a jerk, and Patrick Stewart is awesome. So
That's true.
I know nothing
love
about
Patrick
them.
Stewart.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's done all sorts of good.
Sir J-Mo says Data is better than Kirk and Picard.
Spiner.
I don't know better. I mean, if we're talking most interesting character, I definitely would vote Q.
Brianna, do you mind if
Oh.
I tell chat about your thing with Data?
Here we go.
Brianna's father is one of the bigger Lieutenant Commander Data impersonators out there.
What? Now that he's aging, he doesn't look as much like
I don't think he's been to a con in a while, but if
Well, he's been the last 4 or 5 years in LA.
This is why you want to follow
Vegas.
this is why you want to follow the Loresworn Order, guys. We're actually really interesting in a lot of really
we're
weird
actually
ways.
just legitimately huge geeks, yeah.
And surrounded by you.
And surrounded by geeks.
The geekdom penetrates even to tertiary levels.
So, there will be some action happening now. We're planning a naval invasion of Taiwan.
Taiwan!
So,
I can't tell if the stream
It's
has
Sir
froze.
Patrick Stewart.
yeah.
Not Stewart, sir. Nitpicking, I know, but...
Sir Patrick Stewart.
That's not nitpicking at all. The Stewart family is a legit family, and the Stewart family, I'm assuming, would be their servants. So, difference.
Ah, British classism. It's really funny to to compare, because like over here, racism is a pretty big deal and classism isn't as much, and then in Britain it's like classism is a big deal, and to us it's like really.
Oh, we could go
Really?
go round and round.
You guys have like prejudice based on like how much money people's ancestors made. Like
we could go round and round that carousel for hours and hours.
Yeah.
Probably not the best forum for that.
Yeah, it's just it's always interesting to me that the differences between what people care about in terms of social hierarchy from one country to the next.
I had a buddy who did his, I forget, he was either anthropology or sociology. I forget which one. I'll ask him. He did a paper in college on the ways our ethoses have separated since the revolution and the ways they've remained the same.
Yeah.
And sort of an analysis on why we separated, why we stayed the same for each respective area. It was actually one of the more fascinating papers I've ever read, considering
Really?
it was written by a
You
22-year-old.
mean
Yeah.
us and Great Britain?
Yeah. Charlie Cobb, actually.
I love Charlie!
Yeah.
Charlie!
He is
If you're
not.
listening to this, we
He
miss
is
you.
not. I would almost guarantee it. He's
Yeah, I'm
too
just
busy
gonna say
living
it.
the dream. Yeah, just it was fascinating. He did a lot of comparisons on Great Britain and the UK and the United States that I thought were trenchant and well reasoned. So
Trenchant.
yeah.
Trenchant indeed.
Do I need to Merriam-Webster that or
No, it's
okay.
fine. I'm never
We're
gonna give you
doing
shit
this
for
on an
using
internet
ACT
forum.
words.
No, I didn't know if your
No,
I didn't know
no.
if your repeating meant I don't know what that means.
No,
Or,
I'm
okay.
an editor, dude.
Yeah, I don't know sometimes.
I said I knew what airsats meant. I just didn't know what that other thing, the other.
No, the Haber process.
Haber process, right.
Yeah, Fritz Haber.
Yeah.
Here's the thing you'll notice when I talk to or refer to this era of history, I'm almost always talking about the First World War. I know.
Yeah.
I would say if I were to put a percentage to it, I know 5% of World War II compared to my knowledge of World War I. Which is interesting, actually. Most people are fascinated by WW2.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that might actually be because that is what is taught in our schools, so people know to be fascinated by it.
Still a little bit away from the bomb. We should start building.
Come for the
reactors,
video
though.
games, stay for the analysis of American versus British culture. There you go.
We
Yeah,
actually
I do
do
like it.
need to build
We should have Charlie on one of our streams or podcasts.
You know what's
nuclear
funny?
reactors
As much
in
as
Utah
our
and
cultures
Nevada.
have diverged between us and Great Britain. Somehow we are more obsessed with their royal family than they are. I have a bunch
I
of
don't know if
friends-
I
that's
don't know
true.
if that. I don't know if that's a
bunch
true
of
statement.
British friends who are like, yeah, you guys are crazy. Most of us are kind of annoyed by the British family.
Interesting.
I think it's sort of like our reality stars, though. Like there are
Yep.
people that are really into them and people that aren't.
I've done some writing collaborations with British young adult authors. I actually really enjoy British authors on the whole.
let's get better radar. People are complaining at me that I don't build radar.
Katakime is saying landing on the province without port is suicide. The Japanese will dump you into the sea, and also you can't supply your troops.
I don't know that. What are we
Well,
doing?
if we
that's-
spread out fast enough, Marines will start out with enough supplies to like get the invasion going.
It doesn't look like the Japanese have a strong presence on Taiwan.
Yeah, and we can always retreat. But yeah, they haven't been counterattacking this British force that has absolutely no organization. So as long as we spread out fast and capture a lot of territory, I think we'll be okay.
I mean, could this be another sneak attack thing, like that Japanese fleet that you thought was non-existent?
I don't know if that was a sneak attack or if that was just that it took them a while to get their shit together. So I'll go ahead and take it down
Stuff, bub.
speed 3.
Remember, you
yeah,
curse
stuff.
like 90s Wolverine.
Yeah, there we go. So we don't have any more of our YouTube videos demonetized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We don't need that happening
We
here
don't.
at the beginning.
We don't have a lot of money. I guess let's build some better destroyers. Might as well at this point. It won't be suicide. We can capture Taipei. They've got food there. They've got some good Taiwanese restaurants that we can grab.
Thai food is delicious.
It is.
Thai food is different than Taiwanese food, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That is actually too. I apologize.
That's okay. That's why I'm here. I
actually had Taiwan.
I believe. Where was he from? I think my college roommate, my freshman year,
Yeah.
was from Taiwan. Did a lot of cooking. It was fascinating
Nice.
and delicious.
Yeah, so we have a supply shortage, but it's not a dire supply shortage. We should still be able to take the
Yep.
island.
See, this is working. You're being asked to give folks a glimpse of the map as a whole.
Okay, so Japan has all of mainland China. They're fighting against British Raj in the UK down here. Germany's landed some troops. Siamese Empire is also part of the Axis. We control, all of the Indies, all of the Pacific Islands as the allies. We overthrew the Mexican government and installed a more democratic government, so that's why it's called Mexican opposition. Germany is kind of locking things down in Europe. There was like a big D-Day type invasion that pushed a lot of their territory back, but now it looks like this is all that's left of that invasion. Nationalist Spain was forced to capitulate by France and the UK, but
France was overrun.
they're being kind of pushed back, and the line is now kind of holding at the Pyrenees.
Poor France.
Italy keeps losing territory in Africa, but their European territory is still intact, and the Soviets have not become involved in the war yet, and are just
mopping up unallied neutral
conquering
nations.
Turkey and Iran. They're actually invading Turkey from the Asian side, which is a horrible idea because I've tried it. So they'll probably lose a lot of troops doing that.
I mean, there you go. Taiwan is falling.
Yes, we should solve our supply shortage in short order here. Because Taipei is a pretty big city, so I think we can supply our troops decently.
In Taipei, U.S. Marines found food, ammo, and women. Everything is fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
No. I mean, I know there's lots of joking about that, but that's actually a fairly large, humanitarian issue.
It is, yep. Okay, so once we take this last province here, we should be able to just pincer in on... I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that name.
Guizhang? What? Is that a G?
Gaozhong? I don't... Yeah, I am terrible with the
Same.
East Asian language.
I played a role once where I had to speak a lot of Chinese, and I'm told I just butchered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not my finest hour.
But this is their finest hour.
Indeed. Hi, Z.
As a certain prime minister would say.
Funny story, I took French, and apparently I speak French with a Russian accent.
That's funny.
I also speak Japanese with a Russian accent,
She does.
which is weird.
Well, strangely enough, maybe not strangely if you know how much of a Viking dude I am, the first language I ever studied was Icelandic, and when I took German in college, I spoke German with an Icelandic accent.
Yep. You know why that is, right, TJ?
Why is that?
It's because your language learning center
Uh-huh.
just identifies until you're legitimately a polyglot, it just identifies this is foreign language.
Yeah.
Boom. And whatever one you kind of master first is the one that dominates everything else.
Interesting.
Which is why it's really difficult to try to learn two languages at once, because you'll mush them together.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well,
That
the first
does
language
make a
I
lot of
started out
sense.
with was Spanish. Obviously, I took 4 years, and now I'm starting to learn Norwegian. So now I'm speaking Norwegian fine, but now I speak Spanish with a Norwegian accent, so I guess I would.
So yeah, you went the other way on
I
it.
think,
Yeah.
well, and I think it might also be like whatever one ends up actually sticking first, because I know a lot
Let's
of
get some
people who
better
took a lot of
submarines.
Spanish in high school, like 4 years or whatever.
So did
They
I.
can't
Yep.
actually speak it.
Nope.
I
No,
had a
I
fantastic
cannot.
accent in
Yeah.
Spanish.
I took years of Spanish and
All right.
cannot speak it.
Taiwan
Brianna,
is
you are
ours.
The exception that proves the rule. I'm just gonna go with that.
I've always been that way.
So let's see. Let's see. Where are the
Taiwan has
ports in
fallen
Korea?
to the States.
Busan. Yeah, let's try to attack from the north because we don't want to attack across a river. So we'll try to take Korea. It's a little early for the Korean War, 1944, but we're gonna kind of get the jump
And
on
where
it.
this Korean War is being fought for entirely different reasons.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not letting me give a naval order. Can only create a single invasion order from any given port. Well, that's the only one I wanted to make. There we go. And we're going to land just north of the city.
That is ultimately the plan, Braun.
What is he asking if the
Nuke 'em.
plan? Yeah, we're getting to the point where we can build nukes.
Is there a way to run this game where you could try to win the war with diplomacy?
You
That's
can't
not really
win.
the
You
point.
You can't win the war with diplomacy. You can engage in diplomacy as a strategy to not have to go to war. I'm just gonna move my whole fleet up to the.
I mean, that's sort of, in
South
a way,
China Sea, yeah.
partially what the Soviet Union is doing right now in this game. They're kind of doing things on their terms.
Yeah. Insufficient steel. How about that? UK, send us more metal. We need some more metal.
We needs it.
We need some more metal, Toki.
Oh man, I love that show.
If any of you recognize the Metalocalypse reference, Brianna and I are both huge metal fans. So. Alright, Fletcher, I believe, is the guy we want leading this. And then we want to assign them a patrol order. Here, here, and here. There we go. Now we have deployment. Which means that we might actually run into the Japanese Navy soon. But that's okay. 28 days until we can invade Korea. Let's check out our training division. We got more Marines ready to ship out. And we've got... Who else? Everyone else is still in training. Alright, so I want all of our Marines that are still in the U.S. to make your way to L.A. Ho! Germany has finally taken Denmark. I don't know when that happened, but they were struggling with that for a long time. I think Paradox has made Denmark a lot more defensive than it was in actual World War II.
Didn't Denmark capitulate the second Copenhagen was
they
threatened?
capitulated really fast.
Like, I don't even necessarily... If I remember correctly, it wasn't even militarily forced. It was more the Germans being like, we will level this
fight.
city.
Like, they think they fought a very short battle in Copenhagen Harbor and even took out some...
Yeah, it was more the... I'm saying it was
German
more the
warships.
threat. The
Yeah.
Germans are basically like, we'll level Copenhagen, and
Yeah.
the Danes knew that they couldn't do anything about it, and so
Yep.
they capitulated.
Do we have any armor divisions out on the field yet? How
And
far away
Quisling
are
was
they?
Norwegian, correct?
Quisling was Norwegian.
Yeah,
yes.
there you go.
We're not quite making enough tanks to supply all these divisions yet. We'll cancel one of these production lines just to get it moving faster. Okay, we need to research some technology. How far are we from the bomb? Yeah, if we started now, it would take way too long. We can keep upgrading our ships, though. We've got battle cruisers, battleships. Trying to decide what our fleet composition should be. We already have good light cruisers, so we might as well keep going down that track. We're so carrier focused that it's like all we really need is to make sure our carriers are protected, and we're pretty much good to go. 7 more days until the invasion of Korea. It looks like our allies are doing quite well in southern China. Nationalist Yunnan has 1 province left. I should tell people that people that keep asking me. People keep asking me about the game because they could see that I'm playing it, so I'm just going to tell them twitch.tv/Loresworn Order.
There you go. Just check it out.
Okay.
Join
There
the
you
cool
go.
kids.
We now have 6 research slots, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I know I haven't researched like any artillery this whole time.
I mean, might as well.
Actually, we should research tank destroyers. That's going to be better than having towed anti-tank, which is just going to slow us down.
Well, and if we ultimately have to fight the Soviets, that's going to be
Yeah.
like mission critical
Oh, yeah.
technology right there.